In this video, you'll learn about what happens to a person who is experiencing or who has experienced spiritual transformative experiences, Kundalini awakenings, near-death experiences, out-of-body experiences, psychic or intuitive experiences, dream experiences, after-death communications, end-of-life experiences, spiritual emergencies, Contactee experiences, and other similar type of experiences that are not understood in our culture. You'll learn about some of the psychological, physical, and emotional responses that people experience when they have one of the mentioned experiences that I just went through, tools that'll help when these kind of experiences occur, the safe resources that are available, and methods for integrating and making sense of these experiences. Many psychic or intuitive experiences, or even some dreams, can be integrated more easily because they are less disruptive to our belief system, because they are frequent or one-time experiences, and they do not change our sense of who we are. They don't interfere with our electromagnetic system, and they don't strongly affect our neurological system, and as a result may not be as disruptive to our regular lives. However, some people have an experience throughout their lives or a one-time experience, and their psychological, emotional, neurological, and etheric system may go through significant changes or spikes of energy and changes. In some cases, a person can cause the electricity to go off and on, which can be through a light switch by flipping the switch, or some electrical items can completely die or blow up, which is often alarming. So for some people, there can be an electrical disturbance that occurs around them and is reflected in electrical appliances and lighting systems. Electrical blow-ups and flashes can seem to be fairly disruptive and for some alarming, especially if there's a lot of them occurring over a period of time. These kinds of experiences also can be grouped together over a specific time and then diminish as the person adjusts to the changes. So the energy can dissipate and the person can adjust. Not adjusting can occur through the use of substances, emotional instability, lack of healing, other kinds of trauma from abuse and violence, and it can be upsetting to blow up electrical items. So knowing this can be a sign of significant changes in the electromagnetic field of a person is helpful. Besides electrical disturbances from psychic or intuitive experiences, these can also occur from spiritual transformative experiences, Kundalini awakenings, spiritual emergencies, and Contactee experiences. When electrical disturbances occur, it's important to continue your daily grounding practice. If you're not familiar with grounding, use the grounding video on this channel and use it as a daily guide. The grounding exercise can also be reconnected to at any time throughout the day. Another helpful activity is to journal with dates and times and noting what is happening, how you feel, documenting what occurred, how it may have changed your perception, what you remember. This helps to document what is happening, gives an outlet and expression, and often helps to remember more details that otherwise can be overlooked. And then you can reread the notations in your journal, which will help you process and also see patterns. And sometimes people, when they reread something, they remember other details that they could not remember at the time. Out-of-body experiences often occur during the dream state and seem to be somewhat ordinary, and people consider they just had a dream. The dream often is relegated to the quote, just a dream, unquote category, and the person forgets. Other people have out-of-body experiences. So there are different intensities of out-of-body experiences, and they're not forgettable. They are more real than real, and they do not forget, and they remember the experience often vividly their entire life. These type of out-of-body experiences also happen when we dream of a person who has died and we communicate with them. And I'm putting dream into quotation marks there. These experiences are often vivid, have very fine sensory awareness with hearing the sounds, including the timbre of someone's voice. The communication can be telepathic. There may be an odor associated with the person or the intense feeling of their presence. Sometimes people hug, there's a touching of the person and a feeling of pressure or texture. These are important parts of our consciousness and also can be shared with others. And often these are very meaningful and markers of other life events. In a near-death experience, the person has returned to life and their spirit, also known as their conscious awareness, is reintegrating into their physical form. The very consciousness of the person who is often observing their life and what is happening and the moving pieces around that person, whoever comes in and out and what needs to happen. So they're not actually as involved as they previously had been. This means there's nearly always a disconnect from their physical body, the values of what is important to people with whom they have been close, which can be family members, friends, and work associates, as well as the values of the culture and their previous beliefs and the world values. While this alone is discombobulating and disconcerting, there is often no one to speak with about the experience, which is further alienating. This alienation is psychological, emotional, mental, and their etheric body, which we call the auric field, which is part of consciousness, is also not synchronized with their physical body. So it's as if they are separated, and it takes often a year or longer for the integration of their consciousness, which includes their auric field, to be in sync with their physical body, mental body, and emotional body. To understand this concept in a visual way and also through understanding how energy functions, this image represents a normal energy field, that is, we're looking at the secondary auric field and how it is illuminated above the head, below the feet, on the right side and the left side. When a person has experienced an out-of-body experience that is discombobulating, a Kundalini experience, or a near-death experience, what often happens is that there is a separation from the integration of the energy field, and it appears in the way these images look, with the physical body not in alignment with their energy field. So this implies that the energy field is the primary essence of our being and is present whether we are incarnated or not. And when there is a very strong experience of a spiritual nature, there can be this discombobulation or disconnect. And as I said previously, it can take a long time to integrate the physical body with the spiritual essence, and this occurs often over time in increments, and the person no longer feels separated from the activities in normal life. It doesn't mean that they forget their experience or the profound influences and awakening properties. It just means that they're better integrated into their physical body with their consciousness. Some people can take a year or longer to feel like they are integrated back into their physical, mental, emotional, and etheric body and life. Other people can take up to 20 years or 40 years or a lifetime to even be willing to speak about their experiences because they are very profound and because our culture does not accept what they have experienced, sometimes even within the circles that accept and support these type of experiences, because these are life-changing and beyond what our current cultural paradigm accepts as even as real. The presence of the International Association for Near-Death Studies, where hundreds of experiences shared their stories worldwide, they have lessened the stigma about the experience. When the person has recently returned, they can still feel like there's very few people who understand and to speak with. And this is also the same for children who have had these near-death experiences. And for some near-death experiences, the person has new abilities, new insight that can be in conflict with the previous values of their family and even themselves before their near-death experience. Some abilities are seeing or perceiving beyond physical reality, including seeing what we would call spirits, seeing the auric field, and understanding what's happening with the person through seeing energy or sensing it, healing abilities, as well as other specific areas of intuition development. In dream experiences, the person may experience something like remote viewing, where they are traveling or in a foreign place. The person may visit with people who have passed, or they may have experiences of intense fear, sensations that feel safer to categorize as a dream, because culturally we do not know how to process these experiences. So we call them a dream in quotation marks. Other phenomenological experiences a person might have while in spiritual transformation, Kundalini awakenings, near-death experiences, even some dreams, out-of-body experiences, psychic or intuitive experiences, and even collective dreams, end-of-life experiences, spiritual emergencies, and contactee experiences can result in a vibration running through the body that lasts for a day, days, weeks, or even months. During this time, the person can feel something like humming, which is in their system running at a level that is different than before, which is why they notice it. And this humming vibration can be worrisome or discombobulating for people who don't know what this is. And this constant vibration can be noticed at sometimes more than another. Again, the anchoring, grounding process, as well as getting into nature, walking, releasing, and setting intention, is valuable during this time of adjustment, as well as practicing meditations. Often, when people have any of the experiences just described, there has been no one to speak with safely about what is happening or has happened. So this includes clergy, counselor, a psychologist, a medical doctor, or a friend. People have not been comfortable having conversations or taking these experiences in a way that we can be of help to another person, and these people don't know what to say, if they even someone felt comfortable enough to share. This is changing, and there are places where there are resources. but we are still traversing this new territory in this area. There are spiritual teachers, healers, medicine people who have been present and are still present, who can be found to work with, who do have abilities that they have integrated and can practice specific practices to help integrate, align, and discover how this person can use these new abilities to help themselves and help others. At this time, we are just beginning to tread in the area of contactees. We're going to call them dreams of being contacted, waking consciousness experiences, and people who have had near-death experiences, who have witnessed not only their life review, or they may not have experienced their life review, or the beings who are guiding them, but also beings who do not fit into traditional ideas of angels and guides, but of beings who are humanoid, but are what we generally call, quote, alien. There are others who have memories of other life experience, who report interaction with and as not being from Earth. For many people, this notion may sound far-fetched, but when we look into the creation stories and also the historical stories of indigenous people around the world, they are full of information about contact with beings who are not from Earth in waking consciousness, sometimes in dreams, and this information is being revealed more and more. While some of these experiences overcharge the nervous system, which can result in too much energy, or it feels like too much energy, other experiences overstimulate the entire system and cause heightened awareness, which may be long-lasting, or it may be a peak experience, and then that experience is integrated slowly. Other people have extreme sensitivity, sensory overwhelm, lack of understanding of what is happening, multisensory awakening, and perception that can interfere with everyday functioning, which is disorienting. And when this happens, they need a certain kind of secure environment where they can stabilize and integrate what's happening with them safely, and be helpful in addition to the different areas to attend to in this program, to write about your mystical experience, spiritual transformative experience, Kundalini awakening, near-death experience, out-of-body experience, psychic or intuitive experiences, dreams, after-death communications, end-of-life experiences, spiritual emergencies, and contactee experiences. Record the approximate date or the exact date of occurrence, your age, how it affected you at the time, how it affects you now. If something has changed, what is it? Do you feel resolved with the experience? So also write if there is more that you want to learn about that experience. What would you like to gain from understanding your experience? There are specific tools to use to help integrate a person who has experienced near death and other discombobulating experiences, as well as methods to gain deeper insight for integrating and understanding. These tools are specific to people who see, sense, know energy, and can work with people in that way.
Transformational Wisdom is dedicated to offering services for heightening intuition, advancing consciousness, releasing stress, including depression and anxiety, healing and awakening for our evolution using energy medicine, including the auric field and chakras, and sound medicine, ancient healing, cutting-edge science, and transformational content. Please like and subscribe. To get more information about programs, courses, free offers, new services and products, special meditations, sound and music medicine, sign up for emails below.